Employers who fail to pay their employees within 7 days after the date when payments fall due may be liable to fines of up to $350,000 and imprisonment for up to 3 years. This applies to both wages that must be paid within 7 days of the last day of the wage period and termination payments that must be paid within 7 days of the last day of employment. If an employee obtains a Labour Tribunal judgment for non-payment of wages, this must usually be paid within 14 days, or similar criminal penalties will apply. The Labour Department issues regular press releases of its successful prosecutions. In the month of October 2020 alone, the Labour Department has reported a company being fined $64,000 for non-payment of a tribunal award and an order to pay the employee $14,000. Another was fined $50,000 for the same offence. Another company was fined $73,000 for non-payment of wages and holiday pay. In September 2020, a director and his company were prosecuted for failure to pay wages and annual leave. The company was fined $101,000. The director was fined $62,000 and sentenced to 2 months imprisonment, which was suspended for 12 months. The director and the company were ordered to pay $726,000 to the employees. Other sanctions can be imposed. For example, also in September 2020, a company director was ordered to 200 hours of community service for failure to pay wages. In that case, the director was also ordered to pay almost $1 million in outstanding sums due to the employees. The Employment Ordinance effectively allows the corporate veil to be pierced so that directors or officers of the company can have personal responsibility. Directors can seek to defend themselves by arguing that they had a reasonable excuse for non-payment or late payment. However, the court is rarely prepared to accept this as being a complete defence. In HKSAR v Li Feng Chin, the employer deliberately failed to pay wages, preferring to pay other operating expenses in the hope of keeping the company afloat. The director was convicted for non-payment of wages and was fined a sum of $110,000. The director appealed against the conviction. The Court of Final Appeal commented that the non-payment of wages, in order to try and save its business, was a hopeless argument, and that a company that chooses to use its resources to meet other expenses instead of paying wages is making a calculated decision to break the law designed to protect those employees. This is the opposite of a reasonable excuse. While the courts are reluctant to accept most excuses as a defence for non-payment, they might be prepared to accept the excuses in mitigation for a lower fine or sentence. Courts are prepared to be lenient when the delay is short, the unpaid sum is small, or it's a one-off or first incident. The court might also be prepared to consider operational issues, such as management chaos arising from a change of ownership or the sudden departure of senior management.